Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and it's the Sunday 24th of October, and a little bit of excitement today as I've come out and found my first feijoa lying on the floor, the largest one. Now it's quite possible, normally when they fall they're ripe, and the other ones which are small, this obviously haven't fallen off yet. We didn't have any particularly high winds. Now I could probably leave this to ripen on the kitchen counter for a few days, but I've decided, as it's fallen, which suggests it should be ripe, and it'll probably lose weight if I leave it on the counter for a few days, I thought I'd actually weigh it and cut it open today, unless it's the largest one that I've got, to see if it is in any way edible. It might be a complete disappointment, but I think it's worth cutting it open to have a look, as it should be ripe at this stage. So what I'll do is take it back to the table, flip the camera around, or at least leave the camera as it is, and we'll weigh it first, just to see what weight it is, because I think it's considerably bigger than the best one I had last year. So I'll just pause the camera and we'll go and set up. So here we are, let's get these scales on. Put them to grams, so scales to 0. Now this fruit is a Triumph, of the variety Triumph of my pineapple guavas. That's a feijoa, or Aca Celoiana. So let's see where we're at. Not bad. Let me move that so you can see. 78 grams. I think the largest one I had last year was 59 grams, if I remember rightly, so that's quite a bit larger, and that translates to about 2.8 ounces. They're not particularly heavy fruit, but I mean, I'm pretty sure in videos I've seen these up to sort of 200 or 300 grams, so this is way short of the potential in a hot climate with some of the larger varieties, but still nevertheless very satisfying. So what we do is take it off the scales. Now I could leave this to ripen, because although it's fallen off, which means it should be ripe, it probably got the potential to get riper, but I'll leave the others to ripen better. So what I thought I'd see if I can do is just cut this down the middle, because I want to see if this one's got any jelly in it, which is what we have a shortage of in our climate. Yeah, same problem we always have. If you see them in hotter climates, this is a lot more notable, this section in the middle, and it should be a lot more sort of with a clear jelly in, and that may be because it's a particular issue with this variety Triumph, but I think it's because we have a much colder climate that you don't get that clear jelly section in the middle. Even the seeds, although the fruit has fallen, the seeds aren't like a nice black or brown colour to indicate full ripeness, but nevertheless I'm still going to try it and see what it's like. So I'll flip the camera around and we'll have a quick taste. So here we are. So I'm going to have a look at it. I've cut it across ways, and normally there's like a 4 clover leaf pattern in there, which if you see them from other warmer climates has got a nice sort of clear jelly-like section on it, and the fruit at that point seems to be much sweeter and more pleasant sweet. But nevertheless, as this one's fallen and it was the first one of the year and the largest on the tree, I thought we'd have a look. I can see there's a little bit of juiciness in it. Let's see what this tastes like. Okay, so I'm just going to try the skin as well. I have washed it. The outer parts of the fruit, the skin right on the outer parts of the fruit have got quite a sort of citric type flavour to it. I mean, there's no real sweetness in that area. The middle of the fruit, it's got what I consider to be that typical it's got almost it's certainly a little bit citric, but it's almost got a medicinal, a floral. They smell a bit floral, a little bit medicinal, and I personally find the flesh on them, it's quite pleasant, but I find the flesh quite medicinal tasting on this variety. There's no real sweetness to the fruit, and obviously they can be very sweet, and I think that's a result of our cool climate and the fact that when they're growing to ripening stage in October and November, the weather's invariably too cold here for them to develop that sweetness. I think it's a problem you could get round if you grew them in a cold greenhouse here. I think you get larger fruit with a lot more sweetness. It may well also be that the fruits need to the plants need to get bigger to develop extra sweetness, but of course it'd be interesting to see if some of the other varieties are a little bit different. But it's perfectly pleasant. I certainly wouldn't eat the skin, but I think with the other ones on the tree, probably is once they've fallen off, which indicates ripeness, but they're not really what I call ripe here. Once they fall off, I'll put them in a bag with a banana that's starting to ripen and see if we can force a little bit more sweetness or flavour into them. I mean, it's a perfectly edible fruit, but not a fruit that you'd be fighting to buy and eat. I mean, it might be to people's taste, because personally I don't find guava sweet. But nice to have the first one of the year. Quite a good size. I don't think the others are going to be that size because the weather's getting very cold now and it slows down the growth. Anyway, I thought you might be, some of my subscribers might be interested in that. Now that flowered in, I think that one was flowering sort of early in July. So we're looking at July, August, September, October. It's about 3.5 months from flower to the fruit dropping roughly. So somewhere in the 3 to 4 months bracket. I suspect in a warmer climate they might get really quick, or they might stay on the tree as long and just give you larger, more ripe fruits. Still nice to be able to eat the first pineapple guava of the year, and that particular feijoa was the variety Triumph. Excuse me. So thanks for watching the video. Thumbs up. Share the video if you think anyone's interested in those plants. Obviously subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and please remember to hit the bell if you'd like updates on the other fruits as they ripen. I'll catch up with you all next video. Brett out for now.